So guys, welcome back to the channel. We've got another BCA buy-in, and it is the white Nissan Note, which many of you more observant people will spot straight away isn't in fact white. It's actually grey, a grey silver colour, and I don't know quite how I missed that. In the pictures from back here on the BCA site, this car looked white to me, but in reality it is almost like a silvery grey. It's actually quite a cool colour. It's almost like some of these flat greys that people have got on cars at the moment, but it has got a metallic fleck to it as well. So it's a 2008. It's only done, I think it was 70,000 miles, and it's 68,000 miles. And I have got the most enormous file of paperwork for this car. We're going to have to go through that in a bit and see what the score is with it. You can see, as with all my other cars, I really haven't had a chance to do anything to any of them yet because I've been too busy. I've still got a few more to move over. But yes, so this is the one we paid £1,300 for before fees. I forget exactly what it owes me now. So we'll have a quick walk around it first. First impressions are, we've got a lot of scraping down the corner of the bumper there. Got quite a hefty stone chip there that needs sorting. Got a big scuff on this corner as well. Nicely though, none of it seems to have broken through into the plastic. It seems to be sitting on top mostly, so it shouldn't be too hard to fix that. Down this side here we're okay, but again, going into the rear bumper here, we've got some scrapes there, and it looks like we'll need to take it out into the wing there a bit, tidy that up. Round the back here, the middle of the bumper's got a lot of marks on it as well, so it's probably going to be worth just spraying the whole bumper, to be honest. Apart from the fact that it's okay over this side. And again, as always, we don't really want to take paint into another panel if we can avoid it, so we probably want to take the paint only over to about here on this side. But on this side we're going to have to take the paint up into the rear quarter to about here, which means we'll probably have to lacquer this whole panel up to about there probably. The alloys look in good nick. They're not too scuffed because they're nice ones, as in they're not particularly big, and the tyres sticking past it. The front tyre's a little bit low. Rear tyre's got loads on it. I think this has got an MOT right through to July next year, isn't it? So I wasn't going to need to MOT it, but I might have to put some tyres on it. Get my chap to check it over. Great tyres on the back there. Oh, I'm going to have to introduce you to my new chap as well. We'll do that on a later video. Mr. Steve over in Torrington. Good long friend of the family. Oh, sorry. Scuff here on the side, so that side trim is going to have to be painted, and it goes into this one as well, which we'll have to see how much that buffs off. It might be that both those side trims have to be painted, but that won't be so bad because we can mask behind those easily and do those. I haven't actually looked inside this or a drive of it yet, so you're going to be coming along with me. Inside, it all looks okay. It's typical sort of cheap plastics that get a little bit of scraping on them, but other than that, the seats all look in good nick. This is not going to need too much of a clean. Yeah, back seats are in good nick. Oh, you've got little trays in the back. Always thinking about the food, guys. So that's cool. I haven't had a Nissan Note before. This is the first Note I've had, and the general response I've had from people I've told about a Note coming in has been pretty positive. We've got some floor mats there. Again, just needs a good clean. Oh, nice little cubby hole under there. Yeah, general, response has been, yeah, they're not particularly interesting cars, but they are good little cars. Practical, cheap to run, reliable is what I've heard in general. Should we have a quick check in the engine bay before I go starting it up and driving it around the yard? Here we go. Let's put you down 1 second while I open up. So I haven't started this yet, so we can check things like the oil levels. Generally, again, just needs a good clean. Nothing outrageous. Don't see any leaks down from the rocker cover downwards. That seems okay. Gearbox only has sort of, doesn't seem to have any throughout bearing, main seal bearing. What am I trying to say? It doesn't have any main seal leaks by the looks of it, from what I can see there. Oil wise, very clean. So I'll be interested to see what the service history is on this. I mean, there's loads and loads of paperwork that we're going to go through, but that oil is very clean. Might be slightly overfilled, we'd have to dip and check again. Coolant level, how do I check the coolant level on this one? Oh, that's a bit dirty, I can't really tell. Let's have a quick look. Now I can't see through that, I'll have to give it a clean and check that again. Oil cap. Ooh. That's nice and clean. There isn't any condensation on that either. That's all very clean. So I'm hoping that this ties into something that's been scraped a little bit. Only light scrapes, but has been mechanically looked after. But we'll have to go through this paperwork here and have a look to see what we've got in there. Let's just take it for a little run around the block now we know it's got oil in it. Obviously, even if the coolant is low, we're not going to be taking it far enough for it to overheat. Okay, so features wise, I've got a CD radio with an auxiliary input by the looks of it. I'm not quite sure where that is. You'll probably spot it before I do. Are we down here somewhere? No, glove box. I'll find out a bit later on. Oh blimey, we've got another book in here with a load more paperwork as well. What's going on there? Got loads of books in here as well. Flipping out, I've got a lot of paperwork to go through with this one, guys, and find out what's going on with it. Got lock and wheel nut in there. Good, that's a bonus. We've got electric mirrors, all round electric windows, stereo controls on the steering wheel. Oh, we've got Bluetooth. We might well have Bluetooth too. It looks like it's good spec then. Right, let's see how she starts. Oh, we've got a full tank of fuel. Starts on the button there. Little bit of overrun on the starter, but I've had that, I was surprised, in a lot of micros as well with the same engine. The 1.2 is a very small amount of overrun on the starter motor. Yeah, we've got Bluetooth flashing on the stereo. Starts okay. Clutch is engaging midway, so that's fine. Second, third, we've got a new flipping route now, guys. You aren't going to see the speed bumps anymore, are you? We're not going to be able to test out the speed bumps. See how the brakes are. Brakes are good. Only 64,000 miles, a bit lower than I thought it was. Wow. I never like to say too much because I tend to find you have to take them out on a couple of runs. But I think we'll get the trade plates on it and go for a spin a bit later. But initial signs are driving around the car park is that the clutch is engaging nicely. The brakes are working well. The gearbox goes for the gears okay. I mean, I've only got them to third, obviously. Granted. Need some rust knocking off the discs by the sounds of it. But that engine is sitting nicely. I can see it slowly dropping down to 1,000 RPM. Seems to be going well enough. So was this one of the rare ones that was traded in just because it was a bit beat up around the edges? I don't know. Let's have a look through that paperwork and see what the score is in terms of history and so forth. Yeah, settled down to a really smooth idle now. Engine's sounding good. I can't hear any auxiliary or tensioner type noises in there. But like I said, let's go and have a look at this paperwork and see how good the history is. Just before we go in and look at that, got some bad news on the Fiesta. So I said to you when I drove it around initially that it was okay. Trying it again takes a lot of revs in first to pull away. I think we've got a clutch pretty much on its way out. So I said I wasn't going to repair that front bumper, but I think the chances are I may well do, depending on what Marlowe's can do me a replacement one for. If I can get a replacement one and paint it, it'll probably cost me about £100 all in. Getting one that is in already repaired, a brand new one painted in the right colour is about £250, and obviously to fix this with plastic welding and other stuff and then paint it will cost me about £30. So that would basically entirely cover the cost of putting a clutch in the car if I repaired this bumper, and just got that piece of chrome trim there, which is about £20. So I think that may well be the route we have to go with that, but we'll basically pull it in, pull the bumper off and see how well I can get everything to line up once it's off the car. I'd like to ideally repair this one as well. Reason being, I've put one of these grills in before on an aftermarket one, this plastic grill, and they're a blooming nightmare. They pop out left, right and centre, so you'd really have to get genuine to stop that from happening, and genuine is crazy expensive. So this one isn't going to be a highly profitable car. It's going to be quite labour intensive for probably a modest return. But that's just where the cookie crumbles sometimes, guys, isn't it? there's lots you say, the only real way is to go out and drive these cars and actually get them private sale. Now that I have got, I've got the Dacia coming in, so I'll have 6 cars plus the Kia plus the Alpha. So I've got to have 8 cars plus the van, 9 cars. So I can afford to actually go out and start cherry picking private stuff now, because I've got a high enough stock level to keep myself busy and keep myself turned over. Like I said, I do really want 20 cars here is the goal. Some of them only need simple stuff like the splash. I just need to give that a clean. I want to take the wheel caps off, spray behind it like I normally do with stone chip, tidy them up, put the wheel trims back on again, give it a good clean, and just do a little bit of paint on the back. There's not too much to do on that. I want to get a new MOT on it. The C1 actually should be the first one I do, because that's actually got a fresh MOT, a fresh service on it. It actually only needs a tiny little bit of paintwork, just a bit of touching and a clean up and a photo shoot. So that's the first one I need to jump on. Then get the splash done. Then probably onto the Note, because it's got the longest MOT as well. Get that paint done, get that ready, because again, I think we're going to find that's had a service very recently, I would have thought. And then probably onto the KA, because again, it runs and drives okay, it just needs a bit of paintwork. Then the Fiesta will probably be the last one. So let's have a look at this paperwork, see what we've got. I haven't got a desk in yet, or any filing cabinets or anything like that. If anyone's in the immediate local area and wants to bin off any old filing cabinets or desks, let me know. Obviously I'm looking for clean and tidy ones, because I want to present it in the right way. I could go and buy them new, but you know what I'm like. Try and save a penny here and there if I can, and too much stuff gets thrown away in my mind. Right, heavy folder. Let's start looking through what we got. Right guys, so lots of Nissan stamps. 2009, 2010, 2011. No 2012 looking at it, but 2013, 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18. Going for a full house here, guys, or not? 2021. So not a full service history. We've got maybe a couple missed, but overall, and they're all Nissan main dealer. So I wonder if they just forgot to stamp the book. Might be worth giving them a call and see if they forgot to stamp the book. But flipping heck, guys. So have we got a good one? Well, I know it needs lots of paint, but there's still a lot of other paperwork in there as well. Let's have a quick look at what that is. Well, let's have a quick look at how many owners it's had as well. Now that surprises me. Number of former keepers, 2. But still serviced at the same Nissan dealership. That's unusual. So we got all the invoices. Let's try and stay away from anything relating to the customer there. So what we got in here? A complimentary wash and vacuum. Good on you, Nissan. A safety inspection, a video, 12 months RAC, and a minor service. That minor service included screen wash, oil filter, air filter, don't know what the nut lot was about, and oil. £269. Wow, that's expensive for a service in my opinion, for a basic service. But that was done 4 months ago. Ideal, eh? MOT runs till the 7th, 2022 and is advisory free. However, the previous defects were windscreen wipers. So let's have a quick look to see what are the other paperwork, because we've got so much paperwork here. So I think all the rest of this is all paperwork, basically all the paper versions of the servicing as well, and then every handbook that Nissan ever decided to give you. I don't know if I think each of these thank yous, that's what they are. Each of these are actually they're giving them, every time they've serviced it, they're giving them a new folder with the servicing on it. I wonder if any of these fill in the gaps. 2 seconds, let me just check. Yes, they do. There's a 2019 service here, which is one of the gaps in the book. So they forgot to stamp the book. I'm going to say confidently, once I've gone through all of this, that we've got a full main dealer service history on that Nissan, which I think is an absolute score. Not I think main dealers do any better a job, but just the fact that it's obviously someone who had money, had no problem at all keeping this car, looking after this car properly. They didn't skimp on all of that. They just took it back to the main dealer. Sorry, it's a bit of a mess. I need to get a new desk in my new unit. But it looks like we've got a full main dealer service history on that car. So that is looking like a score. Obviously, I need to put a load more miles on the car to check that it is 100% okay. But initial signs are that although it needs quite a bit of paintwork, the important stuff, the proper important stuff, the bones of the car are bang on. So might be a bit of a win on that one. Like I say, still quite a lot of work to do on it, but looks like there might be a bit of a win. I need to tidy all this up now, don't I, and get it organised. I don't want to go in the book and start writing in services though, so I'm just going to organise it and then show people when they come and view the car. So next vid I think is probably going to be on my latest subscriber purchase, the Audi A1. Now the important thing about this is, I think looking back, it is the most money I've put in a flip car so far. I've normally put in around about £1,500 to £2,000 in cars. Apart from my MGB, I think that was, what was that? That was 3.6, something like that. Maybe my wife's 500X was a bit more, but this is the most money I put in a flip car, and it's the thing we're going to learn is, can I do higher value cars in this more retail looking, tidier environment? Or is the fact that I don't offer finance going to hold me back? Which is one of the things I do have to nail. So that's probably for the next video. So if this is the end of this video, thanks as always for watching. See you again very soon. Guys, it's not often I don't have to clean the flipping door shuts and the stuff like that. This is almost retail ready.